Hello my fellow NationStaters. In this video I am gonna talk about the engine we've designed together for the car from the second let's design a car together thread. Well, again, more like half of the engine. Because it was originally meant to be a V8, but at this time I have only the demo version, which only has 4-cylinder inline engines. But and also we shouldn't forget about the fact that this engine is naturally aspirated and the engine from the thread was meant to have a supercharger. That is not a problem, because in the demo version of automation you don't have superchargers, as well as in the full version. But let's go straight to the business. It's a 1951 engine because of the thread we're designing a 1951 car. And the technical info is, it's an inline 4 with a cast iron block, 2.5 liters of engine displacement. Well, the engine we've designed was a 5 liter, so this is half of it, so 2.5. We've got single overhead cam, dual valve train, and a cast iron head. And we have no VVT because there was no VVT in the 50s. We have a cast iron crank, cast iron conrods, cast iron heavy duty cast iron pistons. We have pretty average compression, sport tuning of the valve train, no VVL. Well, the aspiration is not here because it's not in the game, but the actual engine would have it. And it would be a performance supercharger, a large one, I promise. And it's got a twin carb. The engine we've designed together had 3 twin carbs, but this one only has 1 two-barrel carb, because there are no 3 two-barrel carbs in the game, you can only have 1. So I settled with 1. It has a standard performance air intake, it runs on super leaded fuel, it has a quite lean mixture, but that gives the most power. The ignition timing is advanced, it gets up to 4200 RPM, it has a long tubular exhaust, single, because the V8 would have 2.75 inches of diameter, no emission control, no mufflers, it would be a race car engine, possibly a rally car engine, and here she is, in her full glory. Red, because the red ones are the fastest, with a chrome carb, a beauty. And of course that's only half of it. And let's listen to it. Nice rumble. Oh, that was also nice. True engine rumble. It has 99.7 horsepower, and the actual engine would have double that plus, because it has a supercharger. 30% of the total figure, so about 260 horsepower. For 1951, that's really good. Most competitors of the car we designed, which is a sport coupe, had about 220, and this has 260. And also has 170 Nm of torque, the half of the engine has, so the full one would have that plus about 25% of it, so about 410 Nm, which equals to about 275 foot-pounds of torque. And it also is pretty good when it comes to performance, but it's really loud and not very smooth. Reliability is possible. It's pretty heavy, not that big, and not that expensive. And it gets straight on the edge of octane rating of the fuel that should go into the engine. So let's get a final listing of it, with no of those graphs, just the engine. Let's start at the idle. We have 1100 RPM as idle, but the engine, oh, that's a rumble. Let's get it up a smidge. Now we also hear blow-off noises of the fuel exploding in the pipes. More 2900, and we're getting a cool rumble. 3000, even better. 3500, yeah, and 4200. How is it doing in terms of reliability? The lower end parts, like there, are okay. Let's lower it, gear change, turning it off, and oh, that was quiet. So, this is our engine. Please like and subscribe.